Ortho Athletes have revolutionized the game once again. Through their amazing app, you can find the top doctors in the entire state. You were the MVP on the field. Now you'll be the most valuable patient off the field. Ortho Athletes treats you like a 5-star. Download the app now and use the same doctors as professionals. Welcome back to the Utah Preps Podcast. I'm your host, Moose Bingham, and we're going over defensive tackles on YouTube today. We're going to be going over the top 10, and this is projected defensive tackles. There's some guys that will be playing out of position, but I think at the next level, that's where they're going to be. So let's get started and get going with our defensive tackles, starting with number 10, Levi Taise. He's a sophomore, DN, D tight end, nose guard, everything under the sun. 6'3", 255 pounds from the class of 2027 at Hunter. And my goodness gracious, he was doing everything as a sophomore. He could play anywhere on the line. I'm talking anywhere, and possibly even some of the backer spots. As a sophomore, they moved him everywhere, but I think as he hits college, he's going to be a force at defensive tackle. Really a 3-tech. Or he may even slide in to be a 0-tech. He does a great job two-gapping. And when it's needed, he's also a very accomplished blocking tight end. He's a team-first player, and I love that about him. He is going to have a monster junior year. You mark my words right now. Coming in at number 9 is a defensive tackle we all know and love. He's been around what seems like ages from being freshman All-American and all of that. We're talking about Howie Kenny, the 6'1", 275 behemoth coming out of Spanish Fork. Howie had almost every accolade you can get. He's a mauler on the defensive line. I love in the film that he plays not with a chip on his shoulder, but the whole entire cake. We're not talking about a single chocolate chip. He gets it done on both sides of the ball and was a key reason for the success of Spanish Fork last year. He has good endurance, and he's a kid colleges will want to have on their roster because he is a stud on both sides of the ball. Just a hard worker, great kid from a fantastic family. That's our Howie Kenny. Coming in at number 8, we've got Saliti Palmer. 6'2", 275 pounds coming out of Skyview. He had 48 tackles and 3 sacks coming from the interior. That's amazing. He's also a monster on the offensive line. He brings that defensive mentality to that side of the ball, but he's also an athletic freak. He has fantastic endurance and can even rush from a 2-point stance. He's a dude that more people need to pay attention to. Satili Palmer is our number 8 defensive tackle. Coming in at number 7, we've got Crew Baxter, the 6'3", 235 monster from the mountains of Wasatch. Crew is a 4.0 student that has Ivy League potential. He has a relentless motor and flies around the field. Super smart and plays the ball extremely well. Wasatch moves him all around the line. He has quickness and hands that are a recipe for success. As he puts on more weight, he's a kid that will fly up college's boards as an elite 3-tech. He's a kid that hasn't done that yet, but I think he has all the tools in his belt to be a phenomenal player at the next level. Crew is an absolute dude. If you are a high academic school and you're not looking at him, you're missing out. Coming in at number 6, we've got one of another just monster West defensive lineman. We're talking about Dieter Lotulele. Dieter is 6'3", 225 pounds. He's a kid that is just growing into his body right now. He could play edge at the next level. He could do a lot of things, but I love him at defensive tackle. The 2027 prospect is one of the more disruptive D tackles in the entire state, as he had 9 sacks as a sophomore. He can line up all over, and West is returning a ton this next year. Dieter is just going to get bigger, faster, and stronger, and that's terrifying for the whole entire backfield if you're going against this monster. They have 2 more years with dealing with the Dieter Lotulele, our number 6 defensive tackle. This one is a very interesting one. Andy Paiva is a monster that just transferred up from corner to Corner Canyon from Pineview. He is very interesting, and this ranking is based off potential. He could shoot up the list and be our number 1 guy next year, or he could shoot down depending on how hard he works, how much he wants it. And that's pretty much true for any of these guys. But 6'4", 290, strong as an ox, the Pineview transfer should be a pivotal piece of Corner Canyon next year. He was an eye-popping zero tech last year. And my goodness, as a sophomore, I was sitting there, I'm like, he could be special. He could have a little bit better leverage. But as a sophomore, he was an absolute freak. Seriously, could be a national recruit if he has a good year this next year. If not, he's going to be one of those what could have been. It's all in his hands, and I'm polling for Andy to get it done because I think he has all the potential in the world. Coming in at number 4, we've got Paula Makaafi. He's a 6'3", 270-pound defensive tackle coming out of Hunter. He's a young gun again with a 2027 tag on him. Paula has put in the work this offseason. He was a team player last year, rushing from everywhere. This year, I expect him to be solidified on the inside, and my goodness, he's just fun to watch. He was very, very strong as a sophomore and did a fantastic job just collapsing the pocket. My favorite play is where he plays fullback. He's just getting started. I mean, he's going to be a top 3 defensive tackle in the state when everything is said and done by the end of his junior year. And he's going to be one of those kids that's going to be pushing for number 1. One of the secret hidden treasures over there at Hunter High School. Definitely one that everyone should be watching. Number 3, we've got Miller Carter, another player from West. 6'2", 265. He's grown into his body a little bit more than Dieter. But you open his film and he's just bullying a punter. And you're like, why would you do that? Put a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth? It's just not good for the brand. But what it is good for is Miller freaking Carter. He's a leader for this defense. You can see it with his effort. His hits are punishing, but they're a thing of beauty from the booth. I mean, his burst is just surprising quarterbacks, players in the backfield alike. He does a good job of coming off the edge, but I think as a 4-eye, ooh, my goodness, he will be the future at that position. He could also be a monster in the interior, but wherever this young man goes and whatever he does, I promise you one thing. Miller Carter is going to be successful because he's that type of dude. Coming in at number 2, we've got another one of my favorite defensive tackles, Lopiti Mawala. Lopiti, 6'3", 250 pounds, is just an absolute stud. I remember watching him and Ami together, and I'm like, I'm about to change my last name to Mawala if that gives me this type of production. Junie is no longer a dart and is now a tiger going to Orem. He's going to do what he always does and always did, and that's just ball out and make those around him better. There's a reason he has a handful of P4 teams knocking down his door because he runs like a running back at his size. He has elite burst in the hands, and I know he's coming off the edge, but I think wherever he goes, he's going to get knocked inside. He's a kid that just moves beautifully at defensive end. It's like watching a ballerina in the Nutcracker. This kid is a stud, and I can't wait to watch him wherever he does go next year and see how he's used. But I think he's going to be a D tackle, and that is our number 2 defensive tackle in the state, Lopiti Mawala. As always, I want to give you guys a little preview. You guys can look in and see what guys are coming up, who you should be watching, and all of those things as well. Because we have some fantastic players coming up in the next little bit. And the Utah Preps podcast, make sure you tune in and see what guys are coming up and who you should be watching. If you guys didn't have varsity film last year, you're not rankable. This next year, you will be. So make sure you get your film into me. Make sure you guys post it on Huddle because you'll be able to see all the other guys that are getting rated. This is where you're going to get it done. So with no further ado, let's get to the number 1 D tackle. I'm talking about Bot Muitalo, and everyone's going to already come after me. I know. Bot moved to tackle. Well, I have no tackle film, and tackle is such a technical position that I'm like, I'm not going to rate you there yet because I still think he is an NFL draft pick at defensive tackle. He has everything you look for. coming in at 6'5", 290 pounds out of Lone Peak. Bot has transformed his body from the end of last year to the beginning of this year, and he'll probably be the number one interior lineman or number two. But as of right now, I have him projected as a D tackle. And he is just unbelievable on the defensive side of the ball. I call him the juggernaut because I don't know a single player that could stop him when he is going hard. He does have a tendency to take some plays off, and that's his Achilles heel. He's got to learn to go hard 24/7, give that 110%. But if he does, there's no one that can stop him from hearing his name called every single Sunday. We're talking about a Haloti Ngata type player. And that's how highly I think this kid is. I think he could play any position on the line. Seriously, I still can't believe BYU got him. They got an absolute steal, not just of an incredible football player, but of an incredible person as well. He is going to do some mighty good things for the Cougars, and they're lucky to have a player of his caliber and character coming in and repping them. So that's our list for the top 10 defensive tackles. Who did I miss? Who do you guys want to find out? Tune in for our next list of the top 10 on the Utah Preps Podcast.